right, well, welcome everybody. We are carrying on, moving our way through, and Sutra 246, I think it is. Let me get this right. Yes, 246. Finally, a mention of asana. So asana is the word that we use to describe the postures that we're so familiar with if we practice yoga in the West. And this is our first sutra that even mentions asana. Here's what it says. Well, I'll say it in Sanskrit because a lot of times we'll say it in class. Stira Sukhanasanam. Stira Sukhasanam. Asana is a steady, comfortable posture. Sometimes. The translation that Swami Satchidananda offers for Sukham includes comfortable, happy, prosperous, easiness, and pleasantly. And then Stira is steady and stable. A lot of times when we're teaching, and my teachers have taught me, Stira is effort, Sukham is ease. Here, Stira is steadiness or stability. So, what does this mean? As I was reading it this morning, I started to think more about the mental aspect of yoga, effort and ease in that aspect versus simply the physical aspect. And I think really that's what this is speaking to here. That of course, when we're practicing the physical practice, there is effort, there is an aim for stability, and then hopefully we find ease sometimes in our physical body, but mostly in our mental experience of what's happening. And I mean, I know all of you that are on here, and I know all of us practice yoga and have practiced it off and on for a long time. And as we practice, we start to be a witness to how this changes just day to day, which I think is one of the real benefits of a regular practice. Is you could do, he mentions Paschimottanasana here, seated forward fold. You could do that on Tuesday and have one experience, and then get on your mat the next day and have a totally different experience. And the fluctuations can be day to day, but they can also be longer term. So if we're not making it to our mat on a regular basis, guilty right here these days, we notice the difference that it creates in our whole life. Right? So the effort and the ease is apparent to me when I get on my mat now. There's a lot more effort than ease. And it's the same thing out there. The struggle is real when I'm not on my mat. There's a t-shirt and a bumper sticker that I've seen that says, "Yoga, I bend so that I don't break." Which is really what he's speaking to in this story here about the big tree talking to the tiny weed. And the big tree's like, "What are you doing? This is my space. I'm big and I'm powerful." And the tiny weed is like, "Dude, like, I just was born here." Wasn't a choice, but here I am, and be nice. And then this big storm comes up and the tree gets knocked over. And the weed, it can bend, survives. So there's a lesson there both in just the physical stability. If we're stiff or overly comfortable, we might get pushed over. So we do the practices. And the other thing that he mentions in here that I just think is worth highlighting, many of you may have heard it before, is the practices were actually, the physical practices were developed to aid in the sitting practice. So when our body is unhealthy, he describes it as having pain, bile, and gas. When our body has got toxins, it's hard to sit still. And so there's this kind of reinforcing set of behaviors that help each other. So keeping our body healthy helps us sit long enough to keep our mind healthy. So I'm going to invite us to practice today in a stillness, with an opportunity to really be aware of what might be uncomfortable, just as practice and research of self. I think it's the next sutra that says that, because I read ahead, but either way, there's a comment that if you can sit still for 3 hours, you're all right. We will not sit still for 3 hours, but I invite you to try it sometime. See what comes up. We will sit now for about 12 minutes. Just 12 minutes. All right, go ahead and create your seat. Create your feet. Do something on purpose with your hands. So I'm going palms down today. Margot's getting situated behind Jessica. Humans and critters finding stillness. Begin with noticing your breath as it is. Cultivating an awareness without needing to change it. Scan your body and notice where you might be gripping or holding unnecessary tension. Softening when you find tension. Bringing a steadiness to your breath. Stabilizing your mind onto your breath. Find the balance between effort and ease in that steadiness. So an awareness, but not a grasping. Hold your breath lightly in your mind's eye. Notice if you feel any tension on your forehead, the sense of gripping in your thoughts. And loosen the grip. Cultivating a sense of awareness without worry or gripping. Just noticing what's present. Picture yourself in chair pose. If there's a physical reaction to that image, just to bring an awareness to it. Is there more effort in that pose than ease for you? And maybe you make it extra effortful in your own practice. Picture yourself bringing some ease to your own body in chair pose. So you're still in the posture, there's effort and ease. Perhaps there's a physical softening, or maybe it's more mental softening. Come out of the pose now if you're still in it. Think of a pose that you enjoy. A pose that when it comes into your body, there's a sort of welcoming energy. I like this one. Get a sense of what's here that is easeful, pleasant. If you're like me, there's an energy of welcoming it. Just, oh, I like this. I'll mentally come out of that posture. Take a couple of breaths. Think of a posture that's not your favorite. Notice what comes up, even in thinking of wheel pose. Release the reaction to the posture and picture yourself in the posture with ease. Releasing any sense of, I can conquer this, or I can survive this, I can push through, and finding ease in the effort. Notice if your body's holding any tension. It's often the physical tension. And come back to just breath. Start to take some deeper breaths. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Insights or comments? Well, next time you do chair pose, think of your meditation version of chair pose and bring that into your body. It doesn't have to be a struggle. Or whatever that pose is for you. We all have one, at least, where we're like, oh, that one. All right. Well, I hope you do have a chance to move your body today. Enjoy some asana. And I'll see you next time.